Kumlana Blag Gemara. Today's daf is we are up to the Mishnah on daf Kuf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph. So the last thing we learned about was employee relationships and the pay you have to pay on time. Now we're going to learn about the lender and the borrower regarding the mashkin, regarding a security pledge. And we're talking about a security pledge here that is showing to say that came time of payment and the guy didn't come up with the money. So you go in and you're taking a pledge. We're not talking about at the time of the loan, because that obviously the borrower is, it's totally up to the borrower whether it's given or not, and whether the lender wants to lend the money. We're talking about came time of payment and he didn't have what to pay, so he gave up mashkin. The question is, are there rules or restrictions? Can the lender just walk in and seize? We had a whole sugya Bava Kama on the third page. They've all done, that's why can you just walk in on your own and take whatever, your belongings, or how's it work? Because the Torah says there that, that you should not go into the house, you should wait outside, and Machutz Tama, you wait outside, and the guy will come out and bring you the mashkin, or whatever it is. So the question is a third party, which is the Shliach Bezdin. Can the Bezdin go and seize property, or could the Bezdin also have to wait outside? Or because there's two possibilities of seizing property. One is to actually walk into the house, like the sheriff. I don't know if the sheriff's allowed to walk into someone's house and seize property. Okay, or they wait outside and they wait, knock at the door, and wait till the guy comes out. The other way is, so one is they can walk into the house. The other one is maybe they cannot walk in the house, perhaps, but if they see you in the street holding something, they can go and seize that, because they're not trespassing, you're in the street. So what are the permits? Can the Baal Chayv see something in the street as well? So this is the Mishnah. And then we'll have a Gemara, it's all about Shmuel. So the Mishnah, if somebody lends money, let's say Reuben lent money to Shimon, no, he should not go and seize the property. And according to Shmuel, even in the street, you cannot seize property. The guy owes you money, take him to the but you cannot take anything from him. Shmuel adds, even in the street, Ella bebezdin, you need to go to a bezdin. And what about the shliach bezdin? What can he do? That's where Shmuel comes in as well. So Shmuel says two dinim, and the Rashi learns the Mishnah like Shmuel. So Shmuel says two dinim. Well, Gemara is going to ask a number of questions on Shmuel. So Shmuel, one din is that the Baal Chayv cannot seize anything, nowhere. Shliach bezdin only in the street. Shouldn't enter the house. So the question is, are we referring to the Baal Chayv or we're referring to the bezdin? It says, Bachutz Tamid, you should wait outside, and the person that you are married to will go. Now, if you look at the pasuk Bachutz Tamid, and then it says, that's how we read it. Bachutz Tamid Kama, the person that owes you the money will come and bring it out to you. But there's another way to read the pasuk. Put the Kama after the word Va'ish. Bachutz Tamid Va'ish. Not only you stand outside the Baal, but also the person that was appointed by the Bezdin should also stand outside and wait. Or is the Kama after Bachutz Tamid that only the Malva has to wait outside? So the Bezdin has different dinim. So that's what we're going to discuss. Then the Mishnah continues. Let's say the borrower had two different items. You take one and you leave one for the poor person. And it says it makes no difference. Whatever it is, yeah. The idea is two different things. The idea is, like the Mishnah examples, that for the Taz and Chatzit, if you give to the person, bring every night, every morning. So you take one thing, but you have to keep an alternating. So, but you want something, you want some confidence or security that you're going to get paid. So, you return the cushions at night, and you keep the plow, and by day, give the plow back. We're teaching plowshare because that's how Pashup Shot is. When it comes up the whole shot, he learned Machlish something in a bathhouse that you take and you scrub somebody. And why takes a change of shots? We'll see later, based on another Gemara later on. The mace. What happened to the loiva died? And you happen to be holding on to a mashkin. It's yours. Because this is in lieu of the payment. You don't have to give it back anymore. You don't have the chiyuv giving it back either to the children. And what you do is you sell it and use that money for yourself. Even to the loiva himself, you don't have to return it. We give you 30 days to pay your loan. Remember, we're talking about the loan was already fell due. 30 days you have to go through this whole ordeal. Or 39 when you go to Bezdin. There's a machlekes over here. If the Mishnah means straight away, the 30, let's say the due date, or you have to give 30 days to the loiva to try to come up with some money. If you don't, then these procedures go into place. It's a very according to Rashbag in Tanakam, it seems Leilam Void, as we'll see. It's Rashbag who says you have 30-day limit, how long you have to mutzah, and every night schleps it back to the guy's house, and for 30 days.
Come pick it up.
I think that's a good point, but then wouldn't be really tzedakah. It's l'chati, it's tzedakah. Tzedakah is part of it.
Stuff that the guy was supposed to pay back already by now.
True. Says the Gemara, Amar Shmuel. Shmuel said, Shliach Bezin. What about the Shliach Bezin? All he can do is mantra natuche. He can seize property outside in the street. He's not allowed to trespass into the house. The Bezin will never give him a warrant to go into the house. He has no right to go into the house. He sees him in the street and sees whatever the guy has. In our Mashkuni love, but he's not allowed to walk into the house. But he might not have afraid of Shabbos, but the Balchayv shouldn't be Mashkuna. El Bezin. Luchayda would sort of seem that they draw the contrast. You don't go into the house, so why should the Bezin can? Mikal the Bezin Mashkuna, the Bezin can go in the house. Amalei. So he says to him, Amalach will tell you, Ema lo yinatchenu, add a few words in the Mishnah. You shouldn't walk into the house, and lo yinatchenu, you shouldn't even seize in the street. So there's another layer here regarding the Balchayv. You can't touch anything. Ella bebezin. And what can a bezin do? Only the bezin can only seize in the street. But neither of them can go into the house. In fact, actually makes sense. The Tani Sefer, the Mishnah that says again, it says in the Mishnah, you lend your friend, don't go in, only in bezin. Then it says, who is he talking to now? When the Mishnah says the second line again, are we repeating again, telling the Malva not to walk in the house? You just said that. What are you saying it again for? Must be talking about, we're now addressing the Bezdin. That even the Bezdin, man, who we talking to? Who are we addressing? Shema, we already know from the beginning. When it says, you shouldn't go in. Talking to the Shliach Bezdin. Says about that is not a proof whatsoever. Why not? But this is how I can read the Mishnah. I can argue and say that a Shliach Bezdin also can have Shliach Bezdin could enter the house. So you can ask me a question. So why is the Mishnah repeated itself? So who's the Mishnah addressing? Don't go into the house to the Malva. Why repeat it twice? I'll tell you how to learn the Mishnah. This is how you're supposed to learn the Mishnah. Malva's chaveda. If Reuben lends my Shimon, like Mishkan, you shouldn't go into the house. Ella bebezin, only the bezin. The bezin, the mashka. So bezin has a right not only to seize property outside, but also into the house. Yeah, not like Shmuel. But now that a few words are missing, the Mishnah now as if it's saying, and the Balchayv will go one step further. I feel you should not even seize in the street. And why? And this is what go back to the Mishnah. Because if you give him permission to seize property, if you give him that permission, give him an inch, he'll take a foot. He'll go into the house as well. So you can learn the Mishnah differently than Shmuel, even though Pashup Shat the Mishnah is like Shmuel. But by me adding a few words, and remember that if you want to make a new halacha, the onus of proof is on you, the burden of proof is on you. But that's Taka Shat the Mishnah. Okay, Moshe Rabbi Yisrael has a few questions to Shmuel. Rabbi Yisrael has a question. It says in the pasuk that you should not take away the livelihood of the person. So the Yadmo, the Chayim, you should not take away the mill because he needs that person for panos. Is mashma because of panos you can't take it. But other things that is not necessarily panos is over there is that the Chayim you can take it. You can take it. Then the next pasuk says, "Lo yisachbo beged almana." You should not take away this again, the beged of an almana because she needs it. Masma hoshalachein from other people. Tagbo. So it says two psukim here. Certain things you cannot seize because they're necessary, but vice versa, other you can. No matter who we're addressing here. In name of Balchayv, if we're talking about Balchayv, that he shouldn't seize it all. Haksiv says, it says in the pasuk that you should not go into the house to take his mashkin. So what do you have to tell me? It sounds like you can't go any mashkin. Why are you stressing? Don't take the mill or don't take the clothes of Amana. What could a Balchayv take? Can't take anything. So when the Torah highlights these few items, don't take. Obviously, and remember, where is the mill sitting? Inside the person's house. It's inside the house. Now you can't walk into the house. So we're not talking about the Balchayv. Who are we talking about? Must be the shliach bezin. And the shliach bezin, it seems to me, what can't he take? Things which are salient, things which are necessary for this person, critical for the person's livelihood. But vice is other things he could take. Where could he take it from? From the house itself. Because if he can't walk in the house, why are you telling me don't take the meal? And it's in the house. How can I take it? So obviously, other things inside the house I could take. And we're not talking about the malva because that's a process that he shouldn't take. So must be talking about the Bechir Bezin, Kasha Shmuel. Very modern. El Lav Shel Bezin, Kasha Shmuel. Says clearly Shel Bezin can't walk into somebody's house. Says Gemara, Tamer Papa Reb Nachman, Kamed Rabbi Yosef, Papa the son of Nachman, defended Shmuel in front of Rabbi Yosef. Or others say that Papa Bred Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yosef's own son of Papa, said Kamed Rabbi Yosef. No. Why? We're not talking about Shel Bezin. Shel Bezin cannot walk into the house either. We're talking about Balchayv. So why Balchayv can't see anything? Not in the house, nowhere else. You're right. Those things, everything else he takes, he's over one lav. Those things if he takes, he's over two lav. He's over two lav. Yeah.
This whole opinion of I know it's exact as a concept that to return the return his coat to the poor man, but isn't that a steer to the union of Lishisa Avil? You're not allowed to.
Now is only a deal on a bezin, not on you as an individual. No, you're right. But
return the codes.
But the Torah says, if I remember, Rabbi said that a person is clean of the mashke. That belongs to the malva. We learned the kedushin today, but you can give it to one kedushin. But that's why the Torah says tzedakah. This is a forced tzedakah, and we'll count it as if you gave tzedakah. Tzedakah is only with your own items. According to Rav Shimon, who dashes time in the crop. We said you don't give it back. No one said he said you don't give it. He said you don't give it back to a monastery. Sorry, a rich guy you don't give it back. Right, so only someone needs it. So that's why there's no mitzvah tzedakah to a rich guy. Tzedakah, not faith. That's the same question. How can you give tzedakah to anybody?
I'm saying what's the whole meaning of a mashkit? It's to give security. It's the malva.
That's right.
But if the lawyer knows I'm getting this back every time I
but every morning you knock on his door, he takes away from it. Think he feels comfortable. There's no better reminder. If he has cash in his pocket, he would be paid. So bad if the guy's destitute.
No, I'm saying, what's the cash? Is the mouth, the loan.
There's no better reminder to the guy. You pay up already. This Ludwig will come to you every morning, 9 o'clock, knocking on your door, taking this away, that away. And it's like, okay, that's one question. Next question. Toshba coming here, Masha says, it says in the pasuk that he should stand outside, right? And then the person that you're borrowing will come bring it outside to you. Any day, Trader says you want security, wait outside. So obviously, so how are you going to get it? Obviously, the owner of the house, the boy will bring it to you. Why does the Trader have to spell out? And the owner will bring it out to you. And the person, obviously, the person in the house is going to bring it out to you. That's what the Brisa says, to include a shliach bezin. In which part of the pasuk is the shliach bezin included? Is he included in waiting outside, or is he included in the part where it says, and he will bring it out to you? We put the comma before the ha'ish, so the ha'ish and the person in the house will bring it out to you. I mean, the shliach bezin has a right to go in the house, which is not like Shmuel. Or do you put the comma after the ha'ish, so you wait outside, and the ha'ish and the shliach bezin waits outside, and the guy will bring it out to you? So the Brisa says, "My lav shliach bezin." So now we're trying to understand the Brisa. My lav shliach bezin has the same thing like the loiva, that he can walk into the house and bring it out to you. We put the comma after the word ha'ish. We're like, no, that's not kasha shmuel. He'll tell you the comma goes before the ish. Shliach bezin kemalva. Nachutz tamid v'ha'ish. You stand outside and the ish. Even though the trup doesn't reflect that, it's interesting. Sometimes we say look at the trup to see to reflect how to pshat and pasuk, and sometimes we totally ignore the trup and we just we say it's fluid. Can learn either way. Toshba coming here, it says in pasuk, if you happen to take the person's clothes, you should bring it back at night. He needs pasuk, whatever he needs it. So the Brisa says who we're talking about here. B'shliach bezin hakosim b'daber. We're talking about the shliach bezin. That's the time shliach bezin. What shliach bezin has to bring it back. By Eina El Bachai, we're talking about the lender himself. It says in another pasuk, El Beisa Lavat Avoiter. When there's another pasuk that discusses the Malva's relationship, he shouldn't even be going in to get the mashkin. Hari Balchayv Amur. So how many Mekayim? What am I doing with this pasuk over here? That it says that Im Chavel Tarboil the Salmos Reecha, you have to bring it back. The Shliach Bezin Hakosim Adaber. So why the Shliach Bezin? That the Shliach Bezin. So we see the Shliach Bezin could go into the house. There, it says the shliach bezin goes in. You have to go in and bring it back. Sounds like the shliach bezin can go in and out of the house all the time. Kasha Shmuel. And they wanted to know, you know what? Taka machlekes tanoim, whether the shliach bezin like Shmuel cannot enter the guy's house or the shliach bezin can. It says as follows. Shliach bezin shmuel mashkan lo yichanis lebeisa. Clearly here, like Shmuel, that the shliach bezin should not enter the house of mashkan. Elohim b'chutz. He waits outside, and v'hala or aloy v'moitzelei mashkan, and the other guy will bring out the mashkan. And it says b'chutz tamid v'ish. Clearly, this brisa holds like Shmuel, that what Ish is, you put the comma afterwards, so the shliach bezin has to wait outside as well. You can only see his property that's outside. But Tanya Ida, and another brisa, Baal Chayv Shabol Mashkin, Baal Chayv, comes to Mashkin, Lo Yechon is Lebeis Mashkin. The Baal Chayv should not enter the house, Lo Bechutz. B'halon Nichnas Moitzalei Mashkin. The other guy will go and bring it out to them. It says Bachutz Tamid Ushliach Bezin Shabol Mashkin. That's talking about the Baal Chayv himself. What about a Shliach Bezin? Hareze Nichnas Lebeis. The Shliach Bezin has every right to enter the house Mashkin and seize whatever he wants. Then the Bryce continues, but even that are rules. But he should not take everything that he needs for panos and all that. And the more there's a whole list of things of a which we'll talk about a little bit now and tomorrow. That where somebody goes bankrupt, there's things that you have to leave behind for the person to sustain himself. And there it spells out many more things in here. So here it says, what do you leave for what's essential for the borrower, and then you're taking away his things for payment. What's essential? We're not saying mita 2 beds. You give him 2 beds. Now remember, we don't give anything for his wife and his kids. It's not your responsibility to take care of his wife and kids. It's the community's responsibility. You have the money, you got to give him tzedakah. Why should the Baal Chayv have to carry, shoulder the whole burden of taking care of the guy's family? But he has to leave for him things. So he leaves them a bed and 2 beds. And we'll explain in a minute why 2 beds. Oh, matzalosh! And it's all relative to this person's standing before this whole event happened. He borrowed money, he put it into business, and he lost everything. So matzalosh, and you give him for an usher, you give him a proper, linen, if his stuff is uncomfortable, or mita mefes lani, or for an usher, you give him like a straw mat, whatever. You give him a mat that's hard, but that's what he's used to. Every person, whatever they're used to, that's what you have to leave for them. A bed to sleep on, and another bed. We'll see what's that for. Loy only to him. So you're not mechuyev to take care of his family. But here it says the way we organize the affairs of Baal Chayv, you do a section 14, whatever the way you organize the affairs of Baal Chayv is kach mesadim be'erchin. Because this whole thing we learn out from Erech, we can talk in a minute. The idea, the Torah says that if you cannot afford it, you can be masayat, so then we work out accordingly. Is when you want to clap your you're telling me that we're learning Erchin from Halva. It's Pukfakert. We're learning Halva from Erchin. Where does the Torah allow that a person can afford to make an arrangement of affairs? It's only by Erchin. You're right. Just like the Torah allows to organize the affairs of a person who made a promise to donate to Hegdish the value of whatever another person, the edich of another person, and then we go in and we seize, we take things and we leave certain things behind. We also have the same concept of Bachayv, which we'll see later. There's a machlekes whether we do that or not. So you organize the affairs of Bachayv, and so far the only thing we learned you leave for the Bachayv is 2 beds and linen. You said no. You said mita. Who? What do you need a second bed for? There's a second bed for his family. So you said a minute ago we don't take care of his family. Today he needs 2 beds. So why would a person need 2 beds? 1 bed is a table, and one that he sleeps on. Now, why can't you use the same table for both? Why can't you do the same table for both? There's a sefer called Tolos HaPoskim, so the back of it, which is fantastic sefer, goes through all the poskim, the history, and the exciting truths and the most interesting things that they wrote. Fascinating sefer. So I don't know if you can get into it, but in the very end, the back, he has like Nisbech or current tzaddikim in his time. And he writes,
where was the
Tazer Rashab. So he writes there about the Rashab. And he writes that he went to visit all the yeshivas in Russia, or literary yeshivas and everything else. He says what he saw in Tveim Chetim, he never saw anywhere else. And he describes a few pages how it went. But one of the things that he notes is that the rich or poor, everyone was the same. Nobody went to a room to go to sleep. He says the chair and the table that they learned on, at night, they all went to sleep, and that's where they slept. On the table, on the chairs, because half of them were so poor, who had money then. So And that's what life is impressed. So here you see the Gemara says, no, even out of man, you have to have two tables, one for sleeping, one for eating. Why need two tables? Very interesting. Why need two tables? Shmuel said, I know all remedies for everything. Labar mahali class. Are three things I don't know any remedies for. Ma eat bitter, I guess, unripe dates. I'll leave it on empty heart before eating. Maybe get heartburn or something. I know there's no cure for it. Uman the osar misna the kisna the tiva chatze, one who ties a very wet piece of flax around the hips. I'm not sure exactly what that does to you, but it's very unhealthy. It has ramifications. Uman the ochel nama, somebody eats a meal, v'lei mazge arbor gamidia, and doesn't walk right after the meal, at least 4 steps. Let the food settle a bit. So if you're going to have the same table for eating and sleeping, you don't walk at all. You ate and you put your head down and you go to sleep. But if you have 2 beds, you have to walk. Usually 4 feet to get out of bed. If I remember correctly, the Rambam Hilchos says that you shouldn't walk after eating. You should just sit after you finish eating. You should sit. And I remember seeing Machreim to ask from this Gemara here, L'Chayda, how does it stim with this Gemara? Unless Arbor Gamidi, on the one hand, is not really called taking a walk. It's a walk is a meal or something. Maybe that's what the Rambam means. You don't go for a long walk. Tony Tanaka made it Nachman. The Talmud Rav Nachman says clearly. So we learn from Erchin to Balchayv. So he asked the question. You tell me why we organize the affairs of a Balchayv. Let me ask the question. The Mishnah says that it says after 30 days you're tired of this whole arrangement. Remember, it's very 30 days after a payment due, or even 60 days maybe after a payment of different shittas. So it's a limit. So you can tell me that I can sell all these goods and change it to money and use that money. So let me ask you a question. I can sell his goods. So I have to organize affairs and leave things behind. I can take whatever I want. Included in that sale of 30 days, I can sell everything. Even essential thing, even this very same thing that every night I have to bring back to him, his blankets, or every day I have to bring back to him his plowshare. After this, I can sell it. So no, these are the essentials. I have to give back to him. So what do you tell me? I have to leave him things behind. Says the Gemara. What do you mean sell it? But now we learned machris a karbalayla was a machris b'yayim. You give it back to him. So the Gemara says, yeah, but my question is based on Tana Kirash Bag, Tana Kamei. This Amayda who learned this Braisa said in the name in front of Rab Nachman. Actually, we omitted one word. He was saying the Rashbag. Remember, Rashim Magul says you can actually sell up to today. He's all called the Rashbag. According to Rashbag, the Brisa says that even according to Rashbag says that you have to organize his affairs. I understand. The same Rashbag says sell his goods, even essentials, after 30 days. We have to organize his affairs. And you organize affairs in the more Erichin, it says 12 months. You have to provide him things for 12 months. My question is, according to this is Rav Nachman's question to this Tana who's learning for him. The same Rav Shimon says, you're allowed to sell it. Says, you're Mesadin, you're in Bitman. This whole arrangement that you give back is only 30 days. You sell it. So what's going on here? So the Gemara, how do you know the Chika Ambarashbat? How do you know what Shimon ben Gamliel says? How do you know that Shimon says that when you sell it completely? Maybe Shimon is saying Ad Shloishim Yom Hadalei Be'ina. The first 30 days, the very side article that you took from the person, you got to give back. For example, the blanket that you take from him is mamish a very expensive blanket. And okay, the first 30 days you give him back the very blanket you took from him. Another 30 days go by and he doesn't pay you. Take that blanket, sell it for $500, and buy him a $100 blanket. So you get now. This is your mind and massive. I'll give you a $100 blanket, and I'll keep the $400 in between. But how do you know? What Shimon says you can sell them is completely. So those even after 30 days you're selling it, you're still organizing his affairs. You're still taking into account that there's a poor person there. So the we sell things that he doesn't need. That's not suitable for him, and he keeps the difference between the two. So the Gemara, if you're going to follow Rashbag and say that this svara what that we organize the Balchayv is leka midei de lechazalei. We have a problem So you're telling me that Misadil Balchayiv, even Shmuel could hold that because he says you can sell it completely. It doesn't mean completely. He means sell down to his station. But Rav Shimon Gamliel is the author of the opinion, as we'll see in a minute. Remember about Shabbos, that all the Eden are blame Malachim, and the Eden are suitable for the best things in the world. So if he gave you a $500 blanket, that's what he deserves. Now he's destitute. So what? For example, the let him meet the everything is suitable for him. Abai says Ashbag and Rab Shimon and Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva Kulas Fiddle Koysom and Malachim. Remember, whenever Abai said there's a shitta, means the halach is not like that. But the point is Ashbag himself is the one who says that all Eaton are really b'nei Malachim, and therefore, no matter what standard they have, that's what's suitable for them. What's the Ma'aser Ashbag? That man, we learned that if it's muktzah on Shabbos, something which is sort of raw right now, you can't really eat, and you can't really grind it, and can't cook it, is loof, like I think a caper bush. The layers of char, no mustard seeds. You cannot eat them when they're raw, and you cannot feed them to birds. You have to grind, you crush them. But on Shabbos, you can't crush them, so the muktzah. Rashmag mate beluf. You know why? It's food for the ravens now, or the crows. It used to, they used to have pet birds on Eidus. But who would have pet birds? Only rich people. So the Chachamim, they would say, if you're not a rich person, for you it's muktzah. So you can't feed the birds. It's muktzah. Says Hashem, every single person is suitable to be considered b'nei Hashirim, and they can have a pet bird. Rab Shimon, what's the Ma'aser of Shimon? That now we learned that if you're from the royal family, to take oil and put on, let's say, on your wound on Shabbos, looks like you're doing it for. But if you do it every day anyway for comfort, to make your skin look young or whatever it is, not for the for. If you do it every single day because you're a rich person, you're royalty, then you can continue on Shabbos. Because for you, it doesn't look like you're doing it for. But only if you're royalty. Nobody else can afford it. Remember, we had the there's royalty. We had three stations. There's royalty, there's rich people, and then there's the common folk. And we had different things that royalty uses things which is way exceeds and supersedes what the rich people do. So the Tanakh says, well, it depends on your economic station. Rabbi Shimon says, Kol Yisrael b'nei Malachim, which Eid is not a royal, it's not part of the royal family. So everyone can put the oil on, and it doesn't look like a fool. Rabbi Shimon give the time. The guy owes you $1,000. The lovish eats the bas me'emana, and he's wearing a coat that's worth $10,000. You can strip him from that coat. And get him a coat that's suitable and sell it, and the difference you pay yourself and then give back it. And that's what the Tanakh says. Comes along because he doesn't need a $10,000 coat. He can't afford to pay even $1,000. The Tana Meshum Rabbi Shmuel, the Tana Shiroikim, here Rabbi Shmuel both agree. Call Yisrael Ruin Lois Yisrael. Doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. Nothing wrong with wearing a beautiful mink coat, a $10,000 coat. The way we thought lechatchila. Therefore he's asking the Rashbag, what's this ma'aser about Mesadin lebalchay? When Rashbag says you sell it, and another thing is selling down, because Rashbag holds everybody is worthy of everything. So how can Rashbag, the same Rashbag says after 30 days you can sell them out completely? Because if you can tell me you can keep certain things, that's his station. Rashbag holds whatever you have, that's your station. So how can it be Mesadin lebalchay? So the Gemara says, what you thought, you thought that what? That you sell down. Things that are suitable for him, you keep. Things which are not suitable for him no longer, shaykh, and that is not an economic station, so therefore you sell down. It's okay, a cushion I can see, the beta, you can get more expensive. 100% cotton will get 100% polyester or whatever, bamboo. You get different materials that are more expensive. Okay, and you sell it down. I can understand the difference. A plow is a plow. You're going to sell it and buy one, another plow in its place. They're all the same price. So what do you mean selling down? What would happen in the first place? It means selling down. Now, this is the problem with his head. A silver plowshare. And he says, what's a silver plowshare? That's what Taisa in the bottom of the previous page learned that macharisha means something totally different. It means a back scratch, yeah. But Rashi learns Pashup Pshat. I mean, it doesn't say any comment. A silver plowshare. I mean, you'll get all dirty. Why would you have a silver plowshare?
Right. I mean, silver's not such a strong metal that you can plow the earth with it. You can hit a lot of it.
Maybe, I don't know, parts of it, I don't know. Maybe the cosmetics. silver plated. So the Gemara, Maskell, Rav Chon. Can you imagine how long will it stay silver?
You talk to someone in the low economic status. What's your dream car? If you win the lottery, what are you going to buy? Buy a really nice old, you know, like
Bells and whistle, yeah, small sockets.
Things about a plow, you know. On a fancy plow, silver.
That's it says in the portion why the angel said, "I have to give the Eden when Eden leave the time, I have to pay them out." So that's Abraham Avinu, Shleim is a tzaddik, Arba Meisha on the Kiyim 400 years later, and Achane Ken Yitzchak God will like Kiyim. Everybody asks, "Well, the angel doesn't keep his word, only for Abraham's sake." So they say exactly what Yima just said. They say the Eden was so happy to get on Mitzrayim, they would take a crumb, a piece of bread, and they'll be happy. So they're eating matzah the whole time. So he said, "I want Abraham Avinu's his the Erech Abraham Avinu's hasagas, because he was a very rich man. His hasagas, that's kind of the chush gadol I'm going to give you. What happened? The pieces of yam. I think about it. Omar, and also when the left time going more b'chadis. Omar Rava Barabba. Okay, Maskell let him say to him. Lab alike promise. Let him say to him that. So time for shachar. So we'll stop over here. Sorry, and we'll continue tomorrow. Mitzvah Shem.